Вот это
That is my car, and we've got one heart for both. I bought my X5 12 years ago when I went to Germany and in the east of Bavaria, near the border with Austria. In a BMW dealer office, I found my car. It had been selling by the first owner, who switched for X6. Car options fitted me perfectly. X5 had everything I needed and almost nothing extra. I still don't know what the compass is doing here. We surprisingly turned out to be the same with the first German owner, not only in tastes, but also in dimensions. I almost didn't have to adjust the rear window mirrors and the driver's seat. In 12 years, we with my ex have traveled more than 270,000 kilometers. Where have we been? Starting from Moscow, we reached the Atlantic Ocean, crossed the Alps many times, traveled the Balkans, circled and French roundabouts. Together we marveled at the castles of Loire Valley. Of course, we drove along the Golden Ring in Russia and visited magnificent St. Petersburg. You have no idea how many times X helped me out on snowy roads in the mountains. A lot of happened during the trips. When we couldn't find a hotel along the way, me and my family even spent the night in the car. Yes, the car needed attention, but the service wasn't annoying, and when the time came for the big maintenance, I did it without a doubt and without savings on my iron friend. With all I've said, you can imagine what I feel about the BMW brand, but I'm sure you are wrong. I first saw a BMW in the 90s. These were the golden years of the brand. Sporty asceticism and quality materials. BMW made great cars. I'm not surprised that around the brand a large army of fans has grown. BMW was doing great, but the company wanted more profit. Imagine you are a general manager of a car plant. What would you do? You will expand to the new territories and sell your cars to those who like the idea of your brand, and that's great. But you want to increase your sales even more. How to do this when your trading idea has already attracted almost all possible buyers? The answer is obvious and sad. You need to change your brand idea and make it attractive to the new customers. Any brand buyers, including automobile brands, can be divided into two types. The largest group consists of ordinary car owners who buy cars on occasion. They are not loyal to the brand. The next time, in case of problems with the company, they will easily switch to their competitors. You cannot rely upon these car owners in the long term, but there is a second type. They are the loyal customers. Marketers call them the nuclear group. That group is the closest to the brand idea and unique sales proposition. When purchasing a new car, they don't think about switching to the other brand and play a significant role in the car manufacturer's marketing promotion. Brand farms form the brand's mass opinion not less than the commercial advertising. These are the people who carefully preserve the core values of brand for the years. The core group doesn't leave the brand in case of difficulties and important in the long term. Such car enthusiasts are good for everything except one. The nuclear group reacts most painfully to, let me call it, innovations. But how does this happen in practice? Let me remind you, you are the automaker, general manager. You produce real men's brutal cars. Now imagine your customers as circles. Large circle reflects all buyers. The smaller one in the center is the nuclear group. For more profits, you have found another potential buyers group. They are solvent people, but they don't really like your cars because they are too brutal. As a businessman, you want to attract them. To do it, you slightly soften the brutality of your cars. Yes, some of the existing clients will not be happy with this and they will stop buying your cars, but you will gain more new customers than lose old ones. The mathematics is in your favor. Congratulations! This all means you can repeat all the steps and increase your profits even more. This way you will please your shareholders and get a good annual bonus. But here is a problem. Each of such marketing iterations slightly reduce the old audience but hits hard the most loyal fans of your brand. As a result of each maneuver to increase profits, the brand gains more and more disloyal customers and have fewer and fewer nuclear ones left. Still, profits are growing and everything is fine. As soon as the company makes a couple of wrong steps, hire the wrong designer, goes too far with the programmed obsolescence, newly acquired customers will start screaming about the terrible car manufacturer and run under the skirt of other brands. And only then you will remember your fans, but they are no longer there. But why doesn't this approach worry the top managers? Perhaps because they are just hired employees who perfectly well understand that they are unlikely to stay in the company for more than a few years. Therefore, for them long-term prospects are a much lower priority than the annual profit. But where are the company's owners looking at? The problem is that in the modern world, shareholders are no longer people, they are financial funds trading shares on stock market exchanges using mathematical models, and one planned long-term fate is not of their interest. It's easier to get out of the business and buy shares of a competitor. You may say I am exaggerating and this is not the case everywhere. I agree. If the company's owners remains a specific group of people, if the business is passed on from one generation to another, this radically changes the situation. Then the owners do not strive by all means get record profits this year and think more for the future of decades and generations. I'm sure you will object, this doesn't happen. Oddly enough, you are mistaken, and a great example is Toyota. It is still owned by one family, and I'm sure that's why Toyota didn't dive into the utopian world of electric vehicles, and that's why Akira Toyoda sees the company's development completely different from his competitors. But let's get back to BMW. Over the years and several generations of cars, the company is increasingly forgetting their brand original ideas. There is more and more comfort, but the driver's fun is constantly decreasing. Maybe you'll say I'm too critical to Swarovski crystal handles and BMW in general, but let me explain why I don't consider my statements to be nitpicking. I bought my X with a mileage of 70,000 kilometers first hand from an official dealer in the east of Bavaria in the town of Traunstein, traveled to Moscow and cleared customs all by myself. Now odometer displays almost 350,000 kilometers. For every 100,000 mileage, Mercedes gives to their car owners a small badge. It can be attached to the grill or you can hang it on the wall in the garage. This badge is not made of gold or platinum, it costs a penny. And its task is to keep the automaker connected with its nuclear customers. You may say this is trifling stupidity, but for the brand fans this is very important. You have no idea how pleased would I be to get 3 such badges from BMW, but no, I don't have one. Could this be a serious complaint against the automaker? I think no. Yes, that's impolite. But we often encounter impolite communications in life, and the people themselves turn out to be quite decent and kind. Same with car manufacturers. Yes, impolite but tolerable. That is about okay, just make good cars. But here's what really confused me. At 300,000 kilometers on odometer, I decided to give my X a major maintenance. Replaced the chain, removed and inspected the turbine, injectors, generator, starter, steering rack. It was pretty expensive. But for my warhorse, I didn't mind the money spent. After all, 300,000 is a serious mileage, and I was sure that it was important for the automaker to know what happened to his car running in, let's say, difficult operating conditions. To help BMW not to miss anything, I sent letters explaining their situation to their representative offices in Russia, Germany, USA, and for some weird reasons even to Australia. You have no idea how surprised I was by the answers. Everyone said with one voice that to see their car after 300,000 kilometers is not of their interest. Take a look into the engine with an endoscope. Look at the conditions of the injectors and attachment. Isn't it important to get data about the life of the chain? How can you not be interested in seeing all this? After all, up to 300,000 kilometers except for the pump, I didn't touch the engine at all. Everything is yours, factory made. And I explained it all in the letters. No, not interested. Car was sold, and that's it. Do you remember the picture with the types of the car owners? Yes, the total number has increased, but at the same time BMW lost some customers and especially brand lovers. When so far so good, it is all okay, but prices are inevitable. And when bad times will come, you will need to lean on the shoulders of those loyal car enthusiasts. But the original idea has been changed and long-term relationships with car owners are destroyed. Therefore, those most needed in trouble nuclear customers may no longer be. Time is inexorable. It seems like I bought my X just yesterday, but 12 years have passed, flown by. I really love my X5 in the E70 body, but the time will come to sell it. For now, I didn't even think about the brand of my next car, but now. BMW from the athlete, an elite Spartan, turned into an overfed man with the sparkling Swarovski earrings in his ears, who will not care what happens to his sofa after him. BMW has lost its essence and respect for car owners, so now for me this is just one of the dozen car brands. And when I will change the car, it's not a fact I will buy a BMW again. Wish all the best to everyone, please subscribe and see you later.
До скорого, увидимся!